Hello, everybody. Corey here. It is Sunday. Sorry for the delay. I did work on these on my way to Tennessee on Friday. However, or I guess it wasn't on the way to Tennessee. It was sometime when we were driving on Friday. But anyway, just a reminder that I am not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. All I'm doing is gathering the information and presenting it here to you for you to make your own decisions and form your own opinions. Here you can see the YieldMax ETF risk information. These risks are defined on their website, so please ensure that you understand what you're investing in. So we're going to jump straight into the trades from Friday here. We had 3 short calls that sorry, I'm seeing now I have these panes frozen. I guess I did that when I was working on these in the car. But anyway, we had 3 short calls that expired on Friday. So those are those first 3 lines that you can see that they ended up closing out. You can see they paid 1 cent a piece to close those out, and then they rolled them, all of those contracts there, to this week, which expiration date is May 10th for Friday. Now, they did have 3 different strike prices here. You can see that they rolled those to that new short call. That strike price is $26. So at the time, well, at the close on Friday, we were at $25.22. So you can see we were only 3% below that strike price at close, which was only 78 cents there. But overall, you can see they brought in a little over $73,000 for those trades. So if we go into the holdings here, we can see that new short call there, which is the second one on this sheet that they did on Friday. We'll scroll over and let's get all this in our screen. Sorry, I should have did that beforehand, but there we go. Now you can see everything on the screen. So Thursday we closed at 18.86. Friday closed at 19.28, so it came up 42 cents there. And then we have a little over 5.2 million in net assets and 275,000 outstanding shares. All right, so I just updated the data for the short call data there that was in the green. So up through Friday, for the short call premium, we had brought in 73 cents a share. As far as our net trades, we brought in 72 cents a share at this point. But anyway, if we go on down there, we have our first short call there. Both of these will expire next Friday. And then that first one there is a $25 strike price, which we were over at the close on Friday by 22 cents because BITO did come up 5% or almost 5% on Friday. And then you can see in the right-hand column AQ that that's bringing the stock price down roughly 3 cents. But if we look at our short call with the $26 strike price, we are underneath that by 3%. However, based on the market value of that strike price, it is bringing the overall stock price down 30 cents a share. Now, if we look at our synthetic, we are still way below our synthetic. We are 2 weeks out from the expiration date here. So $29 strike, but we are below that by 13%. Which is almost $4 there, but it is bringing the stock price down roughly $2.81 a share there. So we really want that synthetic position for the stock price to come up, to that synthetic strike price before it expires. And then, of course, we have our treasuries and cash and everything at the bottom there. Which, of course, as you know, on the right-hand side, if you've been watching these, that makes up really the price of the stock here. If we go over to, I changed this to prices. I know it said BITO before because I think I just did this just for Thursday. I don't know, maybe Wednesday, when people were commenting about why was, YBIT going down so much on one of these days when BITO was barely moving. And that's what this came from. Of course, we can see overall their YBIT has been doing the best, but we can see that BITO, or at least has done better the 5 days out of the 8 here, and then BITO has done 3 days better out of the 8. But we can see those last 2 days, which would have been Thursday and Friday, BITO did better. It was, what is that, 4.5%? Over 4.5% up, while YBIT was only up 3 or 2%. Now, what I did at the top here, you can see that on line number 2 here, this is going to be the overall change since inception of YBIT. So overall, the YBIT stock price has gone down $1.17, which is roughly 5.72%. However, BITO has gone down $3.79, which is 13%. And then so what I did on the ride home today, which I was going to do videos, and then I was going to do this one first, and then I got sidetracked thinking about and doing other things, and then I got car sick, and I had to stop. So no videos happened on my way home from Tennessee. But it did just start out with YBIT and BITO, and then the S&P and NASDAQ. But then after I did the S&P and NASDAQ, I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense, because maybe we should be looking at this to BTC. And then I thought, well, after I added BTC or Bitcoin, then I was like, well, why don't I add YBTC? So then I added that, just so we can look at these in comparison, right? I left the S&P and NASDAQ over here, but let's just change the color of this column. So we'll keep all the BTC stuff to the left, and we'll keep the S&P and NASDAQ to the right. There is a reason for these other spaces columns. I just don't know if I'm going to use them here. I copied this over from, I think it's the Ulti sheet for something, and I used these columns there. We will see. But what I did do, and I manually did this on those greens, just means that those stock did better. Now that's me looking at YBIT, BITO, and YBTC. That's comparing those 3 together, and then just using BTC as the benchmark in this case. And so we'll go ahead and put a line there. So yeah, those are comparing those 3. So if we look at here, you can see out of the 8 days, let me make sure again, yeah, the 8 days that we can compare anyway. YBIT, right, has been green, has done the best 3 days. BITO has done 3 days, and then YBTC has done better on 2 days. And I'm looking, so YBTC seems to do better on the days that YBIT and BITO drop the most. I haven't really looked to see why it does better on those days. BTC has 3 significant drop days, in which when BTC dropped significantly out of those 3 days, YBTC was 2 of the worst days there. But what I did at the tops, I did again since inception. So again, you already saw YBIT and BITO over there, and the reason is I made them equal these cells. So if we were just looking at the other, you can see the difference overall. And this isn't just adding the percentage changes below. This is actually looking at the stock price since inception to now to come up with that percentage. So if we're looking at these 3, YBIT obviously is down. Obviously they're all down, right? BTC is down at 3.25%. So obviously if you held Bitcoin Bitcoin is doing better. The next best thing to that, if you're not trying to hold the underlying, would be, in so far. Now we're only talking a week and a half here, so don't go crazy on this. But YBIT has done better, significantly better than the other two over this tiny time frame. But we're looking at, negative almost 6%, while BITO is negative 13%. YBTC is negative 11%. So I guess technically it's the second best, even though it's still down almost as twice as much as what YBIT is. But anyway, I just thought, this would be good information. And of course, you see the S&P and NASDAQ over there. They're only up 1 or 2% over this time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so it's 9 trading days total. But to look at our percent and change it, because we have to start on the 24th to give YBIT a day right to be able to compare it and see a change in that. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. I don't know if there's any others. If you want to can see this comparison again like this, let me know. I can keep this here. If you want me to add different some additional tickers to this, I can. I thought about Maxi, but then I also, at the same time, Maxi isn't just the Bitcoin related, or at least the last time I haven't looked at it in a while, so I don't know if it's only, in Bitcoin at this point or not. But just let me know. Again, this was just something I thought of on the car ride home, and I started building. But anyway, I will talk with y'all later. Bye.